All right, everyone, welcome back. 9:30 Eastern Time update here on Hurricane Dorian. Dorian still Category 2. You see the east coast of Florida still getting hammered with rain, some heavy showers going into Daytona Beach right now. They're getting some good wind gusts. This thing's getting a little bit closer to the coast. You're going to see some heavy showers just keep inundating this area. Storm surge is definitely going to be an issue. There's some flooding, some beach erosion, all those different kind of things they're going to have to worry about down there. So if you're in this area, get out of the path. Here's a broader view. You can see again just how intense some of these showers and bands of showers that are coming through are. It's the outer edge of the hurricane that's coming ashore here. The eye wall is not supposed to make a landfall anywhere down here in Florida, so you will avoid that. But the bigger problem is going to be when high tide starts coming in these areas as the hurricane goes by and filling up all the bays and not letting the rivers drain. That'll create some flooding in some neighborhoods like we mentioned before. The path hasn't really changed, but it's going to, Charleston, Wilmington, and Jacksonville, it's probably Savannah, up here in Virginia, you're going to feel the effects of this big time. Again, with these bays just the way they are, water's just going to pile up in there. The hurricane's looking really good on this northwestern side. The good news is with landfalling hurricanes, the northeast quadrant is where tornadoes are. So even though you still might see some tornadoes over here, hopefully they won't be as strong. They're not going to be anything like you would see in the Midwest, the big F3, F4, F5 tornadoes. But these can still do some damage. They will be rain wrapped. Plus it's nighttime, so you won't be able to see them coming. So again, I hope a lot of people have evacuated. If you haven't, make sure you stay tuned to the weather and just constantly watch, because you could get a tornado warning at any time. Here it is, Cat 2, 110 miles an hour, 958 millibars, moving northwest at 6. Nothing's changed other than the millibars. Changed a little bit. We'll look at that in here in a minute. Here's a photo I came across. Big old boat sitting on land. That's what happens with the storm surge. Raises up, boat breaks free, and goes on shore, and then the water recedes and it gets stuck on land. I personally moved boats off land. I shouldn't say boats, barges. Huge barges off land. I did a lot of that down in Louisiana, so I saw a ton of this. These boats were everywhere. There were hundreds of them down there. Most of them fishing vessels. There, see U.S. Coast Guard helicopter. This is in near Freeport in the Grand Bahama Island in the Bahamas. So that just tells you the amount of storm surge they had down there. I was just going to talk about the hurricane here. It's stats, but we already went over that. Here's another look. There you see a tornado, a radar-indicated tornado. I hope this page hasn't froze, but a radar-indicated tornado right there. Looks like this isn't working at the moment. Having a little bit of an issue. I'll refresh that page, see if we can get it to work. Here's the satellite view of Dorian. So you see 959 millibars at 20 UTC. 3 September 2019, it went down to 958. Wind speed didn't increase, but this is just telling you that hurricane, you can see an eye again, is it's keeping its structure. It's not weakening. Thank God it's not strengthening. So you can see some additional fire up of thunderstorms here on the northeast quadrant. Those will wrap around. Maybe they'll make it into Georgia or Southern Carolina. But you can just tell it's still churning, still getting its act together. So don't think this thing's over by any stretch of the means. Let's go back to this one, see if this is loaded yet. It doesn't look like it has. For whatever reason, it froze. Now it's going to put me over here. Let's take a quick look here. I just wanted to see the wind speeds. There's the one going into Texas. The tropical storm going into Mexico. It's going to affect southern Texas a little bit. We'll look at the path of that in a minute. But there is Dorian. We'll go ahead and zoom in on it. They were talking about wind gusts close to 60 miles an hour, so that's gust to 37 there just on that frame. and that was in Daytona Beach. They were talking about that. So there's that couple different tornadoes. So it just tells you really strong convection in there. And again, you're seeing that other convection on these outer bands on the backside radar. Can't really go that far through the storm, so it's not picking it up, but you can bet it's there. So once again, there's the overall view. Here's the tropics in total. There's Dorian right there. We're still waiting to see what that thing's going to do. This one is now a tropical storm or depression, and they're saying it's going to go off to the northwest and not affect land, hopefully. You can see it right here. It's ejecting off to the northwest. So probably get caught up in the high. I think the high is over here now, so it's on the eastern side of that high. That's probably what's helping to direct this. The flow around the high is like this, but must be just acting more as a blocking pattern, so it can't go straight to the west. Here is the tropical storm going into Mexico. Again, it may come up here into southern Texas. A little bit of rain. Hopefully not. Here is Dorian. You see all the watches and warnings. Hurricane watches, hurricane warnings, all up and down the coast here. From Florida all the way up into southern Virginia. You got some storm surge warnings. North Carolina, they've been talking a lot about it. Getting hit pretty hard. As this hurricane, as you can see, it's going to be real close here. Real close to Myrtle Beach area. So you're going to see a lot of storm surge, as well as some flooding. Not just coastal flooding, but a little bit inland as well. You're going to have a couple high tide cycles. The hurricane will be pretty close when you get those high tide cycles. So that's not going to be good. You can see the wind field. It's pretty large. You can look. That's 74 mile per hour plus. That one's 58, and that's 39. So that's why on the coast right now they're getting those gusts up to 60. Again, so here's the one going into Mexico and Texas. 1,000 millibars, so it's come down. Wind's gone up 50 miles an hour, but it's moving west at 7. Doesn't have much more time to develop, so it won't get too strong. This one right here, it moves northeast next couple of days away from Bermuda. So it shouldn't be a problem for the U.S. It should just move off to the northeast. This one has a 1,006 millibar. It's moving northwest at 8 mile an hour with 35 mile an hour winds. It'll probably still strengthen, but again, as we saw, it's projected to just kind of move like this. So hopefully it'll be all right. But there's Dorian just doing its thing. Again, this is going to be a real bad situation for the coast, all the way from Florida here all the way up to Virginia. So just keep an eye on it. I have all the evacuation info on my channel here in the description. I have the ways to donate with Red Cross, as well as the FEMA app. If you have any questions, just leave them in and I'll answer them. Leave them in the comment section. If you want to get updates as soon as I post a video, just subscribe, hit the bell icon, and you will get notified as soon as I upload a video. So take care, and I'll make another video here in the next couple hours with the latest updates.